cut the last 3%, they lose their job. Isn't it about time that we look past the greed when we start looking at the future? I'm fortunate. I have been given the greatest gift in the world, from going from paralyzed to being able to walk again. I remember back when they wrote a song, and the song was called Amazing Grace. It was written by a slave ship captain. This slave ship captain was going back to England, and there was a terrible storm. And they thought the ship was going to go down. And the captain said, "Oh Lord, save my ship, save me. I will repent never again to be in the slave business." John Newton was the captain. The ship survived. We got back to England. We got out of the slave trade. And he wrote the song, Amazing Grace. Once I was blind, but I'm going to live to see. You did amazing work here on the GMO issue. Nobody ever expected you would prevail. They thought they would come in and scatter around enough money, and the same thing would always happen. Oh, this is just anti-jobs. I mean, these are just a bunch of tree huggers. I mean, you know, we got way too many of those here, but they really don't count. They're really not making the economy good. Don't listen to them. That they couldn't spend enough money to shut down that issue. That was a case of you may have been blind at one time, but at that point you could clearly see the problem. And so I say to you, this is the most important time to ever have lived in human history. We are going to determine in your lifetime, are we going to do what is necessary so there is a future for our children and grandchildren? It's not about jobs. It's about the absolute survival of the Homo sapiens species. It is going to happen right here in North America. It's going to happen in your lifetime. Look at some of the things that we're doing today. We're spending $40 to $60 billion to import $20 billion worth of oil. What do you think it would be like if we took $40 to $60 billion and went out and built wind generators? Do you realize that if we took 3 states, North Dakota, Kansas, and Texas, there's enough wind power in those 3 states to provide every watt of electricity needed in the entire United States of America? And do you think we couldn't do it for $40 or $60 billion? 1985, it took 38 cents per kilowatt hour to produce wind power. Today, it's 8 cents. And they believe within a handful of years, it will be less than half of that. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to do the things that need to be done? It's not about you doing everything. But you have to remember that when you reach into your pocket, when you pull out your wallet, every time you spend $1, you're pulling on the future. What kind of a future do you want? Can you look your children and grandchildren in the eye and say, I haven't done everything, but I have done everything I can do? Do we look every day and look at the fact that maybe I can make a difference? Do you realize that every day 600 semi-loads of garbage leave New York City? Every day 600 semi-loads of garbage that is transported as far away as Michigan or Virginia? Every day. Do you think we cannot do better than that? In China, for thousands of years, they've been using night soil. for fertilizer on crops. New York City took the remains out of their waste treatment center, put it on a boat and sent it down to Oklahoma. They put it on farm ground in Oklahoma and then ran the test on it, and they found that there were enough heavy metals in that waste product that that land that it was put on will never be usable as long as humans inhabit planet Earth. Can we not do better? Of course we can. But remember what I learned in Washington, D.C. Them that got the gold make the rules. We're going to change this game. We don't have the gold. We don't need the gold. We know how to make the rules. And what I ask for you to do now is do everything you can do. You live in the most pristine place in the world. Make it better. Share the information with your friends, your family. If you're a carnivore, it's like falling off a log to become a vegetarian. If you're a vegetarian, it is no problem at all to become a vegan. I did it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. If you're a vegan, you can still do better. Eat more raw. There is always a higher step on the ladder. And when you look in the mirror, you can ask yourself, what more can I do? You go to the store, take your own bag, go to a farmer's market, start your own garden, join a CSA. There's lots of things that we can do. But remember, people learn from what they see, not what they hear. It's not about walking up to somebody and saying, let me tell you about your diet here. You walk up to somebody and say, let me tell you about how stupid I was. Now, he's willing to believe that. I've got his attention. There is no doubt about it. Of course, his wife is sitting next to him saying, you're in the same boat. Don't talk to people about their problem. Talk to them about your problem. Can you imagine how dumb I was? I went shopping. I did not take my cloth bags with me. Farmer's market was on Monday and I didn't go shopping until Wednesday. What an idiotic thing to do. They were signing up for CSAs, and do you think that I could remember to do that? And your friends are probably going to say to you, CSA, is this some new communicable disease? But if there is to be a future, it's got to start right here. It's got to start with you. It needs to start right now. We are extremely fortunate because the only thing that ever causes human change is crisis. We have a crisis. In China, the symbol for crisis and opportunity are exactly the same. A crisis is an opportunity. This is why we need to rally around, do those things. And it doesn't mean you have to be up on everything, but you need to support everybody that's doing things that are right. And when they have a march, show up. When they have a hearing, show up. When they take some help, reach in your pocket. Can you imagine where would we be today if it was not